Finally found time to do some wrenching videos. The Poclain, the big old excavator. As you know, if you followed my previous videos, I've had issues with one track being kind of weaker than the other, and I'm trying to locate the source. We've blamed the motor, but kind of made sure that's not the issue that's covered in the previous video. Was tempted to look at the valve block here and see if the kind of inlet part for the valve was blocked, because I found some parts diagrams showing that there was kind of a strainer here, and it should be able to access this from underneath, and figured it would be worth quickly checking, because if something was here it could have been an easy fix. Could not find anything blocking anything, so the issue is probably not, if so, it's the valve itself that has internal leaking or something. If it's in the block, could be the swivel connection, rotary barrel in the middle. It decided to give us a leaking hose as soon as it was put to some use after that. So, and the couplings for these old French machines are not standard these days. Sounded like they went out of the catalogs like 20 years ago. And I know they are not really standard, so I tried removing them. I was hoping I could get help. I could reuse them, but seems the press fittings does not match anything that's commonly used today for pressing hoses, so that kind of failed. We'll get back to the excavator a little bit. Have been working on a few improvements in the house, also requiring pouring a little bit of concrete in there. So it's not all forest, but I'm not gonna start covering any house repairs in the video. I'm just saying that I'm doing other stuff than forest here and there also. Back to the excavator. With it being such a long wait to get new parts, new couplings, we decided to try and build our own, since it failed to reuse the old ones. So we bought some adapters to a more common size, and we're gonna weld. My dad did the welding, felt very confident that the welder was doing very well. Me not so much, but I cleaned up the welds a little bit to make sure there was room for the bolts that are gonna clamp things together to fit with the pipes. And the hose was installed with the adapters we had built, and bought a new hose that has a more common coupling system for today. We might end up have to do more of this, because eventually we got hold of the couplings and made a new correct hose. This special thing we had made was leaking, so we will need to redo the welding in some areas. We took it back to the garage and pressurized it with compressed air, and my dad had not got around to try and weld it again before new parts arrived, and they are stupidly expensive. I can get like the entire hose that you see here for pretty much, I think, the same price as just one of the couplings, and then you need two of them, and the hose and the press fittings. So yeah, it just gets stupidly expensive. So I think we might need to get better at welding and make adapters like this for the foreseeable future, if you're gonna keep using this old machine. Well, that's it for this video. I hope I will have time to look over one more wrenching video, and I'm gonna check up on my bark beetles tomorrow also, if the weather is good.